Hello and welcome to my channel. My name's Alicia, but most people call me Leesh. Today I'll be talking through my journey with Elden Ring from beginning to end, and I'm really excited to showcase this and discuss my thoughts on the game. This is your warning, spoiler talk and footage will be used in this video. If you haven't played or beaten Elden Ring and wish to avoid spoilers, this video isn't for you just yet. However, please drop a like and revisit the video when you have beaten the game. Let's compare how our journeys went in the comments when you do. With that warning out of the way, let's get straight into this video. Since playing Bloodborne, which was my first and only other FromSoft title I've played as of yet, I've created a character called Archimedes, the name of which is inspired heavily from the owl within Disney's Sword in the Stone, a movie I've always enjoyed since being a child. Within Elden Ring I continued Archimedes' story, and my starting class was Warrior, as I'm more of an attacking and fast-paced gamer, instead of holding heavier weapons or using magic builds. I find it really fun to see other players create backstory and lore for their characters, and have them grow over the course of many FromSoft games. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I actually really enjoy this added sense of character, and the freedom to invent an added tale to coexist alongside the main in-game story. So the beginning. I started my Elden Ring journey on the 15th of August 2022, and I had learned very quickly how Elden Ring had maintained and even sped up the game pace of Bloodborne, so I found it pretty easy to find my flow in battle and adapt to the new challenges in my way. After the tutorial, we opened those big doors and went on our way out to Limgrave, to where I was rudely reminded that even in a video game, I am maidenless, tarnished, and pretty weak. I'll be honest, that one cut deep. I didn't deserve this. I'm just here to swing my sword and gallop on my horsey, not to be reminded of my sad relationship situation IRL. But alas, we move on. Elden Ring was more fun instead of stress for me, as I wasn't on a linear journey in this one. If a boss was too tough or an area seemed to feel tricky, I could just wander elsewhere and return when I felt ready. Of course, you can do this in other FromSoft titles and spend time grinding enemies, but because those games are confined in more linear environments, it does tend to feel more tedious and annoying to grind for levels. The exception being the, special Chalice dungeon in Bloodborne. If you know, you know. I put hours into Limgrave in both exploration and combat sense, defeating cave bosses, exploring tunnels, and fighting a dragon all before even attempting to storm the castle ahead. Once we did storm the castle, I felt ready. Equipped with a dual sword bleed build, and I had my trusty jellyfish summon ready to fight alongside me as well. Once I exhausted every action within the castle, we marched on to meet Margit, and we defeated him on our 5th try. He was tricky to figure out, but very fun. Following this, we kept on travelling and moved on to Godric, who we also defeated 5th try. In my personal opinion, for newer players to the series, I feel like Godric should have been the first boss and have Margit second, as I felt Margit was much more punishing with his combos and speed, but that's just my personal take on things. I continued on and found myself at the fabulous Magic Academy of Liurnia. Renala's fight was spectacular in both musical score and aesthetic. She did give me some trouble during second phase, but honestly, that's all part of the spectacle, needing to predict what to do next, and always expect the unexpected. After this, we ventured into the area of pain, otherwise known as Caelid. Honestly, after the chaos and suffering this land gave me, I'm considering renaming my monthly cycle to Caelid. I'm not joking, it just seems fitting to be honest. Every single thing here wishes you dead, and they're gonna make sure they hit you with big damage. I did a little side questing to help my new wolf bestie Blythe, and then found out a festival was ready and waiting for my arrival. So off back to Caelid we headed, ready to see what was in store. Enter stage left came General Radahn. Good God, this man was trouble, but wow was he one of the most fun boss experiences I've ever had in my entire gaming life. Being able to summon friends from along my journey to join me in taking him on was such an experience. It felt like a custom army was with me, ready to go to war and fight. I've honestly never experienced anything like this in a game before. As we ventured on, we experienced many different things, like the Mimic Summon, who changed my entire rest of game experience for the better. Essentially, having a twin fight alongside me in battle was incredible, and really fun to see what kind of damage we could do together. I named my Mimic Merlin, after the wizard in Sword of the Stone. If there's one thing I am, it's consistent with my theming. Even some bosses ended up being hit with the final blow by my mimic, which honestly was hilarious. Many trophies were then unlocked, and we conquered all of Volcano Manor's quests before progressing to defeat the tree sentinel that stood tall in the entrance to the capital. We cruised through this chapter as well as the mountaintops landscape until we arrived at the dreaded Haligtree. We trudged through this area and then found ourselves face to face with,
ladies and gentlemen, her.
Malenia. This woman is incredible, don't get me wrong, but my god is she tough, annoying, and difficult. Waterfowl dance plus she heals upon every hit she lands on me was my biggest struggle. It was like FromSoft. Pick one of the two gimmicks to use, not both, please. I fought her for hours on stream, changing up my summon, as well as attempting various strategies, but to no avail. She was tough, and I'm not ashamed to admit that in order to maintain my sanity, I did summon 2 of my friends to co-op Malenia on stream with me.
Where your clothes at?
It was actually really fun to play with others in this fight. I had a blast, and on top of this, we defeated her and I gained another shiny trophy, leading me one step closer to platinum. After all that stress, it was needed that I take some time to level up and chill out, so we continued our exploration of the caves and hidden areas across the land, with a few trophies achieved in between. The journey led us toward defeating the annoying fire giant and his Queen Goma-looking eyeball. Here we had a fight where the camera lacks any consistency and is a bit of a pain due to this boss's huge size. As intended, we then set the tree on fire, and just like that, you think it's over. You achieved your goal, right? Let's go fight the final boss. Right? No, you're wrong. Here comes an entirely new area full of even more pain and suffering for you to entail. Yippee. As this area reached its conclusion, we soon saw in real time how every action has a consequence. In this instance, once returning from the Farah Mazula, our act of arson to the tree caused the capital to fall into a city covered in ash, which created an entirely new atmosphere to the game. We explored underground sewers, defeated our once deemed ally Sir Gideon Ofnir the All-Knowing, and achieved success in taking down the world's first Elden Lord, Godfrey. By the way, add Godfrey onto the list of favourite Elden Ring bosses alongside Radahn. I found him so much fun to go against, I thought he was amazing. Later on, once processing all that time, work, joy and stress, the moment had come. The month was October in 2022, and the end was near for our first playthrough. Attempts were made on both Radagon and Elden Beast, but to no avail. So we diverted to collect all resources in order to have full flask powers, as well as max refills per flask used. After doing this, we went back into battle with our summon of the Black Knife Tish, and I can happily say that on October 24th, 2022, Elden Beast was taken down. It was a huge sigh of relief and extreme joy, and we rounded out the story perfectly by choosing the Rani ending to our tale. Archimedes ended as an Elden Lord and he was no longer maidenless. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call a win-win scenario. New Game Plus was my next and final quest within Elden Ring. Bosses who once felt daunting and scary were vanquished with speed and precision. This is due to my build and learned skills across the game. Finally, after many close calls and tries, on Sunday the 22nd of January 2023, I swiped my sword one last time at Elden Beast on New Game Plus and took my final 2 trophy endings in order to collect my PlatinumTrophy. The journey was fun and at times stressful, but more than anything, it was one of the most fun and enjoyable gaming experiences I've had in a long time. Persistence pays off in these games and I'm glad I kept pushing through, even when times were tough. It's one of the most accessible and beginner-friendly Soulsborne games on the market, and I'd recommend anyone to give it a try. It's not perfect, but the pros completely outweigh the cons for me. I truly feel this deserved its title of Game of the Year 2022, as my experience with this game is something I'll always remember, and I'm glad I got to share the journey with my Twitch chat, and now whoever is watching this video. Should you be curious to see me play future games, feel free to check out my Twitch channel at twitch.tv/LEESHx, or click the link in my description. Appreciate you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. That's it from me for today, so I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!